Let's come to the second question. Discuss scope and significance of the fisheries sector in Andhra Pradesh and suggest challenges, strategies and various AP government initiatives in this context. I have deliberately given these subsections. If you have gone through the APPSC previous year questions, I have seen they are asking such 4 or 5 subparts in their questions. So see here, you have scope, significance, challenges, strategies and various AP government initiatives in this context. Now what can be the introduction here? Before going to this introduction, first brainstorm and think what would be the relevant introduction here when you have to talk about the scope and significance of the fisheries sector. Brainstorm it. Once it is over, now have a look at the screen. In this context, I would say writing fact would be much more appropriate than the scroll got. In this question, mentioning some kind of factual data will add more relevance here. I have seen people writing definitions. Now what kind of definition you will write here? I've seen people writing defining what is manufacturing, what is fishing and all. It doesn't make sense here. You have to write a relevant introduction which can help you to build a foundation for your answer in the body. So mentioning this fact will definitely add value to your body. Andhra Pradesh produces 30% of the national fish production and 35% of the seafood exports in the country. Last year it has produced 57 lakh million tons of the fish, and in the 2021 it has produced 48 lakh million tons. So it was very high even in the 2021 than the 2022. Good introduction, good fact. Such facts are important. Now Andhra Pradesh is the largest fish producer in India. Let's understand what are the measures that are being taken up by the government and why such high scope is present for the government. So let's come to the scope. Whatever the points are mentioned here, these points can be utilized in different places. We always say study smart, do not mug up the facts. You have to study smart. The same concepts, the same scope can be utilized in the food processing, animal husbandry, livestock, or else blue revolution, white revolution, pink revolution, different types of the revolution. So these are the general points where we can make it specific to that question by adding some facts. So why there is very good scope for the fisheries sector in India? We have favorable agroclimatic conditions. Agroclimatic conditions in the sense in terms of good amount of water bodies, good amount of the climate, tropical climate, presence of natural and man-made water bodies, presence of marine conditions, presence of inland water ecosystems. So different types of ecosystems we have, so that is providing us favorable agroclimatic conditions. With a set of ecosystem ranging from pristine waters of the Himalayas to the sprawling Indian Ocean. Though it is a question relevant to the AP, but I have given that point. For the Andhra Pradesh, coastline is the second largest coastline. What you can talk about is agroclimatic conditions with good amount of the both natural and man-made water bodies. We have different types of water bodies or else ecosystems, freshwater ecosystems or marine ecosystems. We have estuaries, we have deltas, man-made tanks, ponds, all these things. So this is geographical aspects. Utilize the same format for food processing sector, for the animal husbandry, livestock, poultry or anything. Now, people's income are also rising. As the people's incomes are rising, the people will have more money with them and they are willing to invest for protein rich foods. If the person is poor, he would be investing more in the calorie high foods, cereal based diet he follows. But as the incomes of the country is increasing, there is very high potential for this kind of food industries. Also, now you also see we have working women. Status of women has been improved with more awareness and also with availability of more processed systems, processing industries. Like say, you can see ready-made fish products are also available in the various stores. So all this is scope, raising income, awareness with the people, working women, and then added to this we have market, both sport as well as the domestic markets. To this, government is providing various support formats through formation of the independent ministry and also by promotion of different types of schemes like say Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, Fisheries Infrastructure Development Fund with the NABARD. Huge amount of infrastructure will be developed for storing of these fishes, because once you catch the fish, it has to be properly stored, right? Or else it will be rotten, and again you cannot export. If you have to export, there should be in a proper healthy format. So government is promoting various things. So this comes your scope. Scope is different from the significance. Be very clear. All these are the points for the scope: geographical conditions, government initiatives, presence of the market, rising income, and the awareness. Now, what is the significance? India is a country with severe hunger problem. Even National Family Health Survey 5 has indicated that in the Andhra Pradesh, women are severely anemic, especially pregnant women. 60% of the pregnant women are facing anemia. So in this context, having food with high amount of protein, most of the people will face B12 deficiency. Your marine products, especially this fish, has good fats, omega-3 fats, and also B12 vitamin that can fight the anemia. So that's why it is very significant in terms of improvement of the nutrition and to mitigate the hunger and nutrition deficiency. Whenever fisheries as a whole is taken, government is promoting the investment in that sector as a whole, fisheries industry as a whole, where the government is promoting the investment in terms of the cold storages, in terms of the roads, or else in terms of the boats, or in terms of the early warning systems, technology upgradation. So all these things can promote additional employment along with the GDP. Let's say this fisheries industry is able to export more fish, and this will help us expand our scope, expand our industry. So new investment and new generation of employment will happen, right? So employment due to growth of number of subsidiary industries with forward and backward linkages, and growth can happen. Sunrise sector, this is a keyword. Fisheries sector is a sunrise sector, means sector that has very huge potential for its growth, has demonstrated an outstanding double-digit average annual growth of 10%. Very good growth. Very few sectors can show such kind of potential. 10% growth rate since 2014, with record fish production of 161 lakh tons. And this can also help us in doubling the farmers' income. We always see Andhra Pradesh or entire India, it is generally semi-arid region. Even in Andhra Pradesh, most of the region is falling under the semi-arid conditions. In this case, having alternative sources of livelihood is very important for the farmer. In AP government also, government is developing the fish ponds under the MGNREGA scheme. So this will provide alternative source of livelihood to the farmers. So this will not only provide doubling of the farmers' income, but it can also act as an insurance. If there is any kind of crop failure, if there is any kind of drought, in such conditions, additional livelihood will be provided to the farmer. And definitely export potential for the government. We always have the trade deficit. In the balance of payment, we have current account and the capital account. We always have negative current account. That means current account deficit. Capital account is always in the surplus. If we promote very good amount of exports, we can also come in the surplus. If you have come across recent new foreign trade policy of 2023, currently our exports stand at somewhere $750 billion. They want to take it to the $2,000 trillion. So now this fishery sector can definitely help us in promotion of more and more exports and reaching our targets to 2,000 trillion, right? So everything we have seen, very good things, significance, scope, everything seems to be positive. Then what are the challenges? Let's discuss them. Now if you see global situation, global scenario of the fishing zones, you might have studied this thing in the geography. Most of the topics of geography and economy are interrelated. In the globe, these are the fishing grounds. The western parts of the Europe, both western and eastern parts of the America, and we can say this as a temperate zones. You have the temperate latitudes and also cold upwelling zones in the tropical areas. These are the very famous potential fishing grounds. Why is it so? In the temperate regions, here you might have studied in the geography, there is a cold ocean current and the warm ocean current. Cold ocean currents are coming from here and warm ocean currents are coming from here. Because of mixing of the cold and warm ocean currents, foggy conditions are created and those regions are conducive for the growth of fish. So these kind of scenarios are found here and here. Cold currents come from here and the warm currents come from here, here and here. So because of this thing, you have the potential fishing grounds. Now in this sector, these are generally areas which are having very cold waters, but the warm waters, like say Gulf Stream going from here, these warm waters present here can provide a habitable conditions, suitable conditions, warmer conditions for the growth of fish. And also if you observe, the fish variety that are found in the temperate regions are very different from the fish variety that is found in the equatorial regions. The major important challenge for the Indian fishing industry is geographical challenge. In this, firstly, we do not have such kind of great fishing belts where such advantages are found in the temperate regions and also in the cold upwelling zones, the tropical regions. So we are not having those fishing grounds. And second thing comes to the species, the variety of the fish. We find in the temperate zones very famous varieties of fishes. The breed, the quality of the fish found here is very good, very tasty in nature than the equatorial fish. Mostly the fish that we found in the equatorial regions they are not tasty. They are generating the foul smell. They are bony in nature. Because of the lack of taste, people will prefer fish from these regions. And also, if you observe, these are the nations which are advanced. They have very good technology and infrastructure with them. They can have very big fishing vessels. They can go into the open oceans for 1 month. They will stay there. They will collect enough number of fish in their ships which have enough cold storage facilities within ship itself. They will stay there. They will peacefully collect enough number of fish and they will capture, store them and come back. And there again, food processing is also well developed. Proper supply chain is developed. Now India being a developing country, we could not venture into the deep fishing zones. We do not have such a kind of bigger vessels, bigger containers. So we could not compete with them. Added to this, geographically this is a zone for higher amount of cyclones, tropical cyclones. So these are certain geographical and economic conditions that are challenge to the fishing industry in India. Apart from this, there is also a social problem. Fish farmer do not want his son to be a fisherman because the social status of the fisherman is very poor. No fish farmer wants his son to be a fish farmer, and also because of lack of access to technology and early warning system, there is also threat to them. So they fear going for the deep fishing. And also one more point is, in the equator regions, when they go for fishing, when they throw nets, along with the fish, diverse marine animals will also be captured. Collateral damage, so huge amount of biodiversity loss. So these are the certain problems. Now things are not easy. With the global warming and climate change, we see waters are becoming warmer. IPCC report has already said ocean temperatures has already increased by 1 degree centigrade. What happens with this? When the water becomes warmer, oxygen carrying capacity of the water will decrease. When the less amount of oxygen is available, lot of death of coral reefs will happen. Fishing belts will start shifting northwards, which are relatively colder in temperature. Also, with increase of temperature, water becomes acidic. This will also destroy the coral reefs. All these things are posing potential threat to our fishing industry. So we have discussed enough number of points which are more specific and relevant to the question. Geographical points, we have discussed about the climate change and its threat, and we have also discussed about the threats from the advanced developed nations. So these are the challenges I have already mentioned here. We do not have regions naturally suitable for fishing like Peru Coast, Newfoundland, climate change and the changes in the fishing belts. Cold storage facilities I have discussed. Now see, we also have these environmental problems. This is the case study that was in the news. Andhra Pradesh government was promoting the fish ponds or fish farms in the wetlands, but this is causing the destruction to the environment. So Kolleru was one of the largest wetland. It was facing threat because of this fishing culture. Few years back it was too much in the news, even it is today. It's one of the important wetland which harbors migratory birds. Great biodiverse zone, this Kolleru lake. So this can cause a potential damage to the environment. Overfishing is also one of the problems. According to the FAO, 90% of the world's marine fish stocks have either been fully exploited, overfished or depleted. It's one more challenge. Then I have discussed about the competition. Productivity is very low because of the efficiency. That's what I told you. We don't have enough technology, containers. We don't go for the deep fishing. Most of the fishing of India is restricted to the inland fishing. So this is an important fact. A fisherman in the Norway catches 250 kg per day, whereas in India catches 4 to 5 kgs. Now these are the strategies I have directly lifted from the AP socio-economic survey. So what are the strategies that are being promoted by the government? They are promoting the deep sea fisheries, and then creation of the, no, one more point I have forgot to mention. Let's say we have the fish ponds. There is also high potential. These fish are affected by various fungus and pests, and all the fish might die. We do not have proper monitoring mechanism to check if this pond is affected by any kind of diseases. Surveillance is not there, and also for the fish to grow we need seeds. So government has developed such kind of institutional mechanism For skill development, AP Fisheries University. Then we have developed the AP State Aquaculture Development to attract the investment. Then we are also providing the infrastructure support for a disease diagnosis, aquaculture labs, seeds and inputs. And we are also developing the fishing harbors in the Vizag and the Kakinada. And one more important scheme is, I told you, we also face cyclones and there will be lull period where fish farmers do not go for the fishing. In that case, in that scenarios, to provide some amount of financial security or income to the fish farmers, YSR Matsya Bharosa is being given. And if the fisherman loses his life, financial benefit is also being provided. And various marketing facilities are being provided to the farmer. So apart from this, we also have the central government initiatives like say PM Matsya Sampada Yojana, Fisheries Infrastructure Development, Kisan Credit Card for easy availability of credit. What is this PM Matsya Sampada Yojana? This is a hub and spoke model. Same thing. Whatever the schemes I have mentioned as per the AP government initiatives, same thing is being provided by the central government. It's two components, central sector scheme and a centrally sponsored scheme. Few initiatives are provided with 100% funding by the government, like say provision of the it is generally a hub and spoke model, means cluster based approach. Some clusters will be formed. In those clusters, government will provide infrastructure, technology, seeds, inputs and market to them, where the people will come with their fish products, and there they will have enough infrastructure there and also marketing facilities to get good returns. From there it is connected to the export markets or domestic markets. So that is the PM Matsya Sampada Yojana. So these are the various initiatives taken here. Fisheries has huge potential. Both the government and private sector and everyone should collaborate and implement the Meena Kumari committee recommendations for the development of the fishery sector. What is this Meena Kumari committee? This Meena Kumari committee was it is very important for you to mention this committee in the question. This committee said we should promote the deep sea fishing. I told you already, we don't go for the deep sea fishing. This committee highlights the significance of the deep sea fishing. This completes our question. I would like to add more value addition for you. Apart from this fisheries, there is also potential for you to ask all these aspects. This is what is mentioned in the syllabus. You have evergreen revolution, rainbow revolution and different sorts of revolution. So all these things can be asked individually or as a whole they can ask. Already such questions were asked in the UPSC. Now what is this animal husbandry? Animal husbandry means livestock raising and breeding for the benefit of the human. This provides 25% of the income in the agriculture. Now this thing also, the significance of this thing is also same which we have discussed in the fishery sector. Nutritional benefit, insurance, alternative livelihood, doubling of the farmer's income. We already have 60% of the area semi-arid, so it can get good returns, and also returns on this animal husbandry is very high. This animal husbandry also includes the fisheries, so those points also applicable here. Just like agriculture, it does not need very huge infrastructure. Like say your poultry farming, this need minimal investment, and returns also start coming fast compared to your cereal farming. For the crop production, we need large amount of land. That's not the scenario here. Returns are high. So what are the types of animal husbandry? Fisheries we have already seen, that is called as a blue revolution. Dairy sector we called as a white revolution. So all these can be a potential questions. Poultry farming, egg and silver. Meat is considered as a red revolution. When we consider all these revolutions to grow together, then that is called as a rainbow revolution. If it is generally talking about growth of crops, your cereals, then we call as a green revolution, which everyone might have studied. But this green revolution has given so many ecological problems. That's why there is a call for second green revolution or evergreen revolution, which talks about not only just about the growth of agriculture, but growth of agriculture with ecological principles. That means sustainable agriculture practices. So you have to be aware of this animal husbandry. Now livestock means all those things. your cattle, buffalo, all those things comes under your livestock. This livestock constitutes 30%, 35% of your agriculture. I have tried to provide few issues in this livestock because I expect a question on this livestock or fisheries, anything, be it in a paper of geography or economy, because these things are mentioned both in your geography and economy through directly or indirectly. So livestock, what are these things they are facing? So livestock, you understand, livestock means cattle, sheep, buffalo, goat, all these things comes under your livestock population. Why do we go for such kind of livestock? Same thing for the blue revolution, white revolution, pink revolution, silver revolution, all those things. Significance is same, scope is same, which we have already discussed in the fisheries sector. But livestock in specific, what are the problems they have? This cattle, buffalo, goat needs fodder, right? They eat some different food which we call it as animal fodder, but the amount of land that is allotted for this fodder is 5% of the gross cropped area. So these animals do not have enough land for this fodder. So fodder cost is rising, and also the amount of number of diseases these animals are facing is also rising. Different types of diseases we see in these animals, be it swine flu, or recently there was a disease in the news, could not recall its name. So we see different current affairs every time with respect to these livestock, and also these livestock, since they are facing diseases, we need proper insurance, but the insurance coverage is 6%. We humans do not have insurance. How about insurance to the animals? Even the crops, the insurance is less. We will come to the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. There we will see the insurance coverage is also very low, 23%. Despite the government's promotion of subsidy, so we have very less amount of insurance cover. And these are also livestock responsible for greenhouse gases, because methane gas is released from these livestock, and this has high potential for this global warming. Productivity, our Indian cows are called as a teacup cows. The milk that is coming from this Indian cows is very less in quantity when compared to the foreign breeds, so the productivity is very low. Also, the animal husbandry that is practiced in India is more subsistence based. We do not have such kind of commercial farming. The farming that is practiced in the developed nations is very extensive in nature, large tracts of land. They have very strong inputs, they are highly mechanized, they use very strong inputs, very good amount of monitoring capacities, water availability, technology with them. So they are very good in production of the milk, meat, and with them they link it to the food processing sector. So if you see, the chocolate industry is very well developed in those European nations. Such kind of development we don't see in India, but still government is taking efforts. Separate ministry has been created and various measures are being taken up, like say National Livestock Mission, Livestock Census, Rashtriya Gokul Mission, okay, to conserve the indigenous cattle, e-Pashuhat portal for connecting the breeders and the farmers. UPSC has asked one independent question on the National Livestock Mission. Such independent questions can also be asked. So I have tried to provide additional information on the livestock. Apart from this, let me add a little bit more value. Let's learn a little bit more on this horticulture. We are talking about doubling of the farmer's income. Horticulture plays very important role in doubling of the farmer's income. The amount of area needed for the horticulture is very low in size, but the returns that can give is very good. If you see, it is covering only 30% of the total cropped area, but it is providing us the outputs as high as equal to the cropped area, which is covering majority 60% of the area. 320 million tons of output we are getting. So it is giving 33% of the agriculture output. Now don't get confused with the livestock 35, this thing 35. No, we separate the components of entire agriculture and we can classify them as livestock, we classify them as horticulture, like this. Okay? So this is very important question. Even here UPSC has asked a question on the horticulture development program, and I expect this question even in the APPSC, because even Andhra Pradesh is doing so much of initiatives, and Andhra Pradesh is the first in the fruit producer in the nation. We are the second largest food producer, and Andhra Pradesh is first in the food production. The scope is same: rising income, awareness, agroclimatic conditions, sport potential, government measures. Positives are same: nutritional security, and this can double the farmer's income, alternative source of livelihood. Few additional points is, there does not need large areas of the land like your agricultural cropping. They can be done even on the waste lands, like say your hill areas. In the geography you have a like say, they can ask you about the hill area developments. These things not much very important for the APPSC, but when they ask you in the UPSC, there you can mention in the hill areas, one of the measures that can be taken is development of the horticulture on the waste areas. This is one of the strategy to develop the backward areas. Now, what are the initiatives that are taken up in the Andhra Pradesh? Andhra Pradesh is first in the food production, fruits production. We are also major producer of the oil palm and the banana. What are the various initiatives we are taking? Andhra Pradesh is providing microclimatic conditions with good amount of environment, irrigation facilities, so that the horticulture production increases. What is horticulture? I hope you all are aware. That is fruits and vegetables, along with some commercial crops like oil palm and banana. So government is providing good amount of micro irrigation and local climate in order to increase the fruit production. Now we will also discuss in some time about the problems associated with the agriculture market. In the agriculture market we have APMC mandis. All the produce of the farmer should be sold only in those regulated APMC mandis. I will come to the discussion later on, but understand these mandis are regulated by the government and no private player can directly interact with the farmer. But Andhra Pradesh is very first state which has given farmer freedom to sell their produce, agriculture produce in the market. What will this do? This will give better price to the consumer and better price to the farmer. It is a win-win situation. So Andhra Pradesh is first such farmer, first such state to produce good returns by market reforms. So that's why we are the first in the fruit production. We have taken initiatives for the minimum support price. What is this minimum support price? In case if this horticulture is facing loss because of the overproduction, let's say you have produced so much of mangoes, then price will fall. In that conditions, how this MSP works? This is market intervention scheme. Andhra Pradesh government will tell to the central government, look central government, we have bumper production. Because of the higher production, we have higher supply, and because of this thing, demand has reduced. Supply is more than the demand. There is fall in price. If the prices fall, our farmers will suffer. So Andhra Pradesh government asked to the central government provide some support to our farmers. Then central government will ask, okay Mr. Andhra Pradesh, are you willing to provide 50% of the financial amount for this thing, for the support to your farmer? Andhra Pradesh said yes. So Andhra Pradesh together with the central government providing 50 and 50 share of resources and only in exceptional cases. It is not available all the time, like you have MSP for the agricultural crops. Only when there is a crop failure, you have the market intervention scheme, MSP. And then we also have direct market, good amount of market availability, which I have already mentioned. One more example is Raitu Bazaar. These are the I will discuss about this thing in the upcoming questions. All these things we have discussed. And then we have Totabadi, initiative taken by the Andhra Pradesh for quality enhancement and the productivity. So because of these things, I feel horticulture, animal husbandry, fishery sector, any one question can be asked. And I hope this discussion has added value to you. So scope, significance, all these questions have the similar points. Few changes will vary. So what are the various initiatives taken by the central government? That is horticulture development program. We have Rashtriya Fisheries, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. So these things you can mention. Independent question was already asked in this vision on development of horticulture. Hope this helped. Thank you.